Hey lovely people, welcome back to my channel. This is Anand and you're watching Physics Craze. As we know that this is the second part of thermodynamics syllabus, and here we're gonna discuss the extra part or the remaining part of the thermodynamics syllabus that we should study for JAM and JES. So if you haven't subscribed my channel, then do subscribe it and don't forget to give a thumbs up to this video. Without wasting too much time, let's get started. So the next chapter will be second law of thermodynamics. It is very important chapter, guys. In this chapter we study about entropy and entropy change for different processes. Now the first thing that we have to study is entropy definition. There is very important definition of entropy and its equational form is also there, where we write ds equals to dq by t. So we have to understand the statement what second law of thermodynamics state for reversible and irreversible process. That is very important. Now after that we have to calculate change in entropy for different processes, like we have done for work done. For different processes like adiabatic, isochoric and all the processes we have calculated work done. Similarly we have to also calculate change in entropy for different process. After that, change in entropy in conversion process. Conversion process means when something get melt, something get boil or freeze. So in that we involve concept of latent heat and specific heat. So in those cases, what is the formula for change in entropy? When we take the heat as positive, the exchanges heat as negative. After this we have to study condition of equilibrium. So whenever there is a equilibrium in a process, so what is the condition of entropy? Whether it is zero, increase, decrease, what is the condition for equilibrium in a process? Next thing is principle of increase in entropy. What is the principle for any natural process? What is the main principle of increase in entropy? What should be the process be like when we always get increased entropy? After that we have to study condition for maximum work obtained in reversible engine. We know that reversible engine means Carnot engine. So what is the condition of entropy in that when we get maximum work? After that, entropy change when ideal gas mixed. So we have already studied in first law of thermodynamics where ideal gas get mixed and we have some final values of pressure, volume and everything. So in that also, what is the net entropy change of both the gases, or we can say net entropy change of universe. Next thing is entropy change in free expansion of ideal gas. These are the topics. You have to remember the derivational form and the final result. Next is TS graph. This is very important. In TS graph, what we have to study? We have to study how we'll calculate work done and heat exchange in the process, in any process, adiabatic and whatever process. We have also done it for PV graph. Similarly, how we'll gonna calculate work done and heat exchange in case of TS graph. The next topic will be Gibbs paradox. It is just a statement. Now adiabatic compressibility, it is also like we have studied for volume expansion. There was a formula, so there is a formula for adiabatic compressibility is also there. Next is third law of thermodynamics and its different statement. It is, you just have to remember those statements. They are connected with entropy change of a crystal substance and there are different statements also. You just have to study those statements only. After the second law of thermodynamics, we have to study thermodynamic potentials. As we know that there are some thermodynamic potentials we have defined, like internal energy, enthalpy, Helmholtz energy and Gibbs free energy. We have some notations for that also. So the equational form of all these four potentials, what is the equation form? Like for internal energy we write du equals to dq plus pdv. Okay, so like this, what is the equational form of enthalpy, Helmholtz energy and Gibbs free energy? And the most important thing is potential square, thermodynamic potential square. This is very important topic where we get a very simple, we can say, way to remember all the equational form of all these four potentials, and it is named as, it is shown as this, and we can write it as good physicists have studied under very fine teacher. So this is what we call thermodynamic potential square, and using this potential square we can write the equational form of all of this. Now next topic is condition for natural process. Like we have different natural process. Here we have shown two processes of them. adiabatic isochoric process and adiabatic isothermal process. So whenever a natural process occurs like this, there will be one thermodynamic potential amongst them four which will get maximized or minimized. So in all of these natural processes, which thermodynamic potential get maximized and which get minimized, we have to remember that result. After that, we have to study Maxwell relation, but obvious there are some Maxwell relations, there are some tedious equations, and after that we have to study general expression of Cp and Cv, and here we have to study Cp and Cv in terms of tedious equation. So this equation is very important. It is not like we have studied for kinetic theory, it is different. And after that we have to study Euler's relation when we have this thermodynamic potential, so what is the relation between them. And last but not the least is chemical potential. You just have to study what is meant by chemical potential and how can we just write our first law and second law of thermodynamics using chemical potential. It is denoted by mu. This is it for thermodynamic potential. After this we have to study our next chapter, which is phase transition. In phase transition, what we have to study first, we have to study meaning of phase diagram. It means here we have to study PT graph of any process, but in this you just have to study PT graph, or we can say phase diagram for water. What are the different points, what are the different section where the water is in solid state, liquid state or vaporized state. This much only you have to study in phase diagram for water. After that we have to study types of phase transition. There are two types of phase transition, which we say first order and second order phase transition. And in that what we have to study, in different order of phase transition we have different values of thermodynamic potentials which get continuous and discontinuous graph. When you study it, you will see that in one of them gives free energy get discontinuous graph, and in the second order gives free energy and its first derivative get continuous graph. So this much you have to study in these types of phase transition. After that we have to study triple point, which is very basic, and you will get that triple point definition and all the required analogy from this phase diagram only. Next point is Clausius-Clapeyron equation. This is the, we can say, backbone of this chapter, phase transition chapter. You have to study this Clausius-Clapeyron equation for two different gases, normal gas and saturated vapor. Here Clausius-Clapeyron equation, what it gives the change in pressure when we change temperature, or state of a gas get changed into one to another. So what is the change in pressure and what is the change in temperature? So that relation we get from Clausius-Clapeyron equation, and we have to study for both of the gases, normal gas and saturated gas, or we can say saturated vapor. In saturated vapor we use a condition. That condition is very important to be remembered. And this is it for phase transition. After that we have last chapter, nothing but statistical. In statistical, what we have to study, we just have to study very counted topics. Now these topics are, first topic is energy level, states, degeneracy, occupational number. Now you have to know the basic concept behind these topics, what is mean by energy level, how we find occupational number. Next is difference between distinguishable and indistinguishable particle. This is very important. While we calculate microstate for given number of systems, it is very important to know whether the particles are distinguishable or indistinguishable, because for both of the particles we have different formulas. Now what is microstate and macrostates? This you have to study, but before that you have to study what is the distinguish between bosons and fermions before going to study microstate and macrostates. This is also, these all topics that we have discussed till, these all are theory. These all topics are theory. You must have to read it and you have to keep the idea in your mind. Next is calculation of thermodynamic probability for different distribution. Now what are the distribution that we have? We have Maxwell-Boltzmann distribution, FD means Fermi-Dirac distribution, and BE means Boson-Einstein distribution, or we also say statistics. And for these all distributions we have different formula to calculate microstates. So you must remember the formula for calculating microstate in all of these statistics or in all of these distribution. And next to it we have to study number of microstate for spin s particle. There is special formula where we get that a particle which is having spin s can occupy specific number of energy state. So this is the formula from where we get that. And after that we have to study partition function and its all property. There are several properties of partition function and you have to remember those properties. After that we have to study canonical ensemble only. There are different types of ensemble, but for JAM and JS we only have to focus on canonical ensemble. In canonical ensemble we take I think volume and number of particles constant. These are some conditions, so only we have to study canonical ensemble. After that we have to study thermodynamic quantities in canonical ensemble. Thermodynamic quantities means how we'll calculate probability of being a particle in a given specific energy state. After that, how many numbers of particles out of n are in that given energy states. And after that we have to study population of particles in different energy state, the formula for calculating average energy, and lots of things are there we have to study in this topic, thermodynamic quantities in canonical ensemble. So this is it for statistical physics, and this is also it for thermodynamics. This much topic you must have to study for preparing thermodynamics. And just keep this in mind that thermodynamics is also one of the very important subject while preparing for any entrance exam. So you must have to study approx 95 to 98% of the syllabus. If you find something very hard to you, so you can leave it, but just give your 100% to understand all the concept, because no one knows which topic will come in your exam, and this is very important subject for every entrance. So thank you for watching my video till the end, guys. We'll meet in the next one, guys. Till then, best of luck with preparation and take care.